Hello and welcome to Free Sample of the Week. This week we are looking at a desk bell by Soundiron. Now don't be fooled by the name, there's actually a lot going on. As well as a desk bell, you're getting this synthesizer with it as well, which is really quite cool, and you can kind of combine them. You can have like 4 different layers going. There's multiple different desk bell sounds, multiple different synth sounds. There's effects. There's so much going on with this free instrument, and it works within Kontakt Player, so the free version of Kontakt. You will need Kontakt Player 7. I tried sticking this in Kontakt 6 and it wouldn't work, and it does say that you need Kontakt 7.1.8 or later, I believe, but check the system requirements. But as I said, completely free of charge. There are 9 velocity layers with the close position, 5 velocity layers for the 3 separate cathedral positions. There's different mic positions. Well, I guess different. Yeah, there's different mic positions in a way, I guess, because you can put A and B. You could kind of mix the different mic positions in, but they've kind of recorded it at different levels. But you'll see what I mean when we get into the library itself. One more thing before we jump in. Soundiron have reached out to me and said, is there anything you would like to review that is theirs? And so I'm going to ask you that question. Is there anything from Soundiron? Check these guys out and see if there's anything in particular you want me to sit down and review, because they'll send it over to me and I'll happily give my opinion and do a 100% honest review. So let me know down in the comments if there's any product in particular you want me to check out from Soundiron. Anyway, enough of the rambling. Let's just jump into Kontakt Player and have a bit of fun with this instrument. So this is what it looks like out of the box. You've got your 4 layers here. I really like that about that. I don't know if I can change the color. No, I can't. But you've got the 4 layers up here. You can control the volume, attack, offset. There's a pad, I believe, normal or pad button there, width, depth, panning and pitch, which I really like. And over here we have our sounds. Specifically, layer 4 is preset to Wavetables, layer 3 Bellbiances, layer 2 desk bell ring dry, layer 1 is just your standard old desk, and you can kind of link. You've got to turn them on via this button here. You can link them, so any settings you change, you will change on everything. You can also set them over here to layer A or layer B or none, and then kind of fade between the two, which is a really nice little feature there. There's also a full rack of effect stuff behind everything there, and you can change that and mess around with that there. There's a second rack as well, so you can layer it up. And if we actually go back to the performance patch, there's a little knob of settings up here. So there's filters you can turn on and off, and ARP, LFO. There's so much going on with the instrument. And have I mentioned it's free? Oh, and you can do this on each layer. Notice there's layer 1 there. So if we close that out, you can go to layer 2 and do a completely different ARP. So we haven't even got into the sounds yet, but as you can see, so much content with this free instrument. I think it was about 500 megabytes. So there's lots of sounds. I'm definitely intrigued to explore and get into this instrument. So without further ado, let's just start with layer 1. I'm going to turn the linking off because I accidentally pressed that. This is the out of the box desk bell sound. That's not everything that's included. If it was just that, maybe a little bit disappointing. But this is just your bog standard desk bell. You downloaded a desk bell. This is a desk bell. This is just your sounds. So your green, I believe, are your samples, while the others, the blue, I think that's just moving sounds around. But it's quite quiet. You might want to turn it up. But those are your bog standard sounds. If we go over here and stay on the desk bell and go through some of the other sounds, we have ring dry, where the actual raw samples, that one there, and then it's been pitched up and pitched down. Getting a bit clunky down there, but that is the dry sound. We do have a mute loose, so it's a more muted sound, mute tight, even more staccatissimo. Clapper. And then we move into our mic position, so we have a ring hall close. And then mid. And then of course far. And that's all the sounds we have just for the decibel. Then we have a more synthetic sound as well, which we'll move into in a second. But what I really want to do, I really like the ring close. I'm going to put that on layer A. Layer 2, I'm going to put that on far. And what we can do here, if I actually turn both sounds on, that's just the close. Oh, have I not? Nope. Layer B. Let me double check that. Layer A, layer B. Yep. And so now if we... And the far, I actually want to turn the volume up just a touch. So you can kind of mix it closer and further. So you kind of can mix between the two mic positions, and you can even put it on layer 3 as well, which is a really cool and very flexible thing that's going on here with the UI, because as well as these sounds, well, we can change this decibel now in layer 2 to a Bellbiance, which is like an 80s, 70s sort of sound. Let's just turn layer 1 off for a second. Now I think they made that using the bell sound, but yeah, you got a synth and you've got plenty of other sounds going for you there. So lots and lots going on. But what I really like is this Synth Sustain. And you can flick through the different waveforms. There's warm, as well as just a softer sine wave. You've got square waves, saw waves, triangle wave, white noise, pink noise, brown noise, and that's it. But just listen to this sound, and I bet you didn't expect this when you downloaded or looked at a decibel video. Let's go all the way back to soft. So rich. I hope you're wearing headphones. This is just such a cool and pure synth, and I did not expect that when I downloaded a decibel. But what's interesting is we can now turn layer 1 on and kind of mix that in, I guess, with the X fade, because we've got it on layer A, but it's not. Can you hear that? Might have to turn that up a little bit more. Ah, easy to do. I forgot to turn layer 1 on. There we go. Cool effect. And what we can even do as well, if we go to layer 1, we can actually pitch that up maybe an octave. So there, so the synth is actually lower than what we, well, the synth is the same, the bell is higher. Cool, I love it, I love it. And then we can even go a step further if we go to layer 3 now. And I want to go and move on from the Synth Sustains. There's a Synth Staccato. I'll just turn layer 1 and layer 2 off so you can actually hear this sound. Is what it says. And you have all those different sound: sine wave soft, sine wave warm, hard, square. All these different sounds. And what we can even do if we go sine wave soft and turn maybe an up on. And we'll close that. We'll add in our sustains. And the bell as well. Which is so cool. And layer 1, actually maybe we want to do an up, so we'll go into the settings here, another up. Let's see what's going on. Let's do a different preset 10, and hit a chord. You're already getting these complex sounds and textures, and it's just such an inspiring and creative piece of software that I almost feel the sky is your limit, because there's so much going on, and they've made it in such a user-friendly way that, you know, after you've played around for about 15-20 minutes, you've pretty much wrapped your head around this. But even then, you could probably spend days and still discover new things and new ways to mold the sound. And we haven't even looked at all that's available for us here. Let's move on to a layer 4 and, well, wavetables. Let's just, I guess, turn the others off and see how some of these wavetables actually sound. So it's quite a pure trebly sound, which works, I think, really nicely with the bass, sub-bass that we've got going on over there. And even then I can set this one to B. If I set that one to B, set layer 2 to A, it's just the flexibility and what you can do, and then let's just hit a chord. You could probably create something a lot better than what I've just done there and whipped together, but it's hours of fun. I could probably just spend an hour sitting here messing around, creating new and unique sounds, and you've almost got a track at your fingertips there, just hitting a note and messing with some of the MIDI. If you right click on something, you can learn a MIDI CC. So if you've got a controller, yeah, or even just set it to your mod wheel down here, because I don't think it's set to anything else. But a lot of fun. So not only are you getting a desk bell with this, you're getting a synthesizer, you're getting a host of other sounds, and something that's very inspiring and fun to play with. And I feel very beginner friendly as well. It's not too complex. You can, maybe the rack, I need to look at it a bit more and not do a video while I'm playing with it, because I've not really messed with the rack. But the ARP is pretty easy. There's lots of presets. The filter's pretty easy to mess with as well. You got 4 layers, lots of sounds, lots of cool stuff. I'll leave it there so you can go download this yourself and have a mess around, because as I said, it's completely free. And please let me know down in the comments if there's any sample libraries by Soundiron that you particularly want to see me review. We're going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.